August 10th, 1941. You've just encircled over 500,000 enemy soldiers into the largest pocket ever. You don't have the infantry you would like to have to squeeze this pocket all at once. And you've even witnessed the enemy air force bringing in supplies and ammunition to the besieged troops, totally unmolested because your Luftwaffe is spread so thin that it simply cannot control the entire airspace of the Eastern Front. And so, what would you do? Well, I don't know what you would do, but I know what Guderian would do. If you don't have the infantry for the job, you send in the panzers. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new weekly episode of War in the East 2, in which we have a look at the development of Army Group Center. Army Group Center has always begun its opening by sending around the Hoth's 3rd Panzer Army. And of Hoth's 3rd Panzer Army, the 39th Motorized Army Corps was the one responsible for opening, let's say, keep pushing towards the final objective, so securing a decent terrain in front of the Kalinin-Leningrad railway line, and it also meant to secure the the right flank of the 39th Motorized Army Corps, namely by regimenting the 20th Motorized Infantry Division. While the 57th Motorized Army Corps, with the support of a good deal of infantry donated by the 9th Army, was, let's say, tasked of reducing and shrinking the giant pocket west, northwest, and southwest of Rzhev. Now, the battles around this huge pocket were particularly interesting because the majority of the enemy troops simply gave up or retreated or surrendered directly after one single hasty attack. Now, my explanation for this is that maybe those troops have been, let's say, left without supplies and fuel for at least 2, if not 3 weeks, or I think it was just 2 weeks. And the Soviet High Command, or read the Soviet AI, maybe even shuffled those units around. And from my experience, when you have isolated troops, you don't want to move them for any reason at all, unless you are playing as the Soviets and it's your first turn and you have to defend the pocket of Bialystok-Minsk, because normally against the AI you still have 2 or even 3 depots with some freight in it, and so your troops could let's say grab some supplies and fuel from those depots. But when you don't have depots inside a pocket, yeah, from my experience, it's never a good idea to shuffle those units around it. And when also the 9th Army began taking up defensive positions, or I would say, yeah, more advanced positions, it became the turn of the 4th Army to advance. And despite not having any kind of motorized unit, and also despite the Axis High Command not temporarily motorizing any infantry division of the 4th Army, the 4th Army again also advanced a little bit and even surrounded a couple of enemy rifle divisions, which were, let's say, caught in the process of their retreat. And yeah, then the 4th Army just advanced a little bit, and let's say, spoiler alert, the positions of the 4th Army will remain, let's say, unchanged until, until maybe the end of August, when something interesting will happen in the sector of Army Group Center, but no spoiler ahead of time. And while the 2nd Army advanced eastwards, the 4th Army advanced eastwards, the 2nd Army advanced southwards, and the goal of the 2nd Army was just to, try to keep up with the advance of Guderian's 2nd Panzer Group and put pressure on the northern edge of the giant Soviet pocket. And then Guderian 2nd Panzer Group began its march southwards or southwestwards to clear the Kiev pocket from the north. And because, yeah, Guderian didn't have enough infantry to, on one hand, ideally screen his left flank, so the flank aiming and pointing eastwards, and at the same time to shrink the Kiev pocket. Well, Guderian committed his entire 46th Motorized Army Corps with the 1st Cavalry Division, the 10th Panzer Division, and the Das Reich Division, as well as the 12th Army Corps, with one extra infantry division attached to the 46th Motorized Army Corps. And so, yeah, I mean, when you are in a hurry and you want to squeeze the enemy pocket as fast as you possibly can, well, yeah, when you don't have the infantry, you just use your panzers and motorized infantry, and you just attack with what you have. And ideally, you try to go for, if possible, if you have enough recon, which I didn't have. Spoiler, in this, at least for this week, you try to go for the enemy depots, because if you take the enemy depots, you further weaken even more the enemy troops inside the pocket. And also, I didn't mention this, but the FBD-2, the one following Guderian 2nd Panzer Group, I think it was, began its descent from Smolensk southwards, with the goal of reaching Rzhev and finally providing Guderian with a kind of a forward supply base from which, his panzers could then take supplies, fuel, and ammunition and replacements, and all the things that you need to keep your mechanized forces up and running. And with this, folks, I would say we are at the end already of the episode. And as always, I thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Don't forget, if you will ever go for an encirclement like the one at Kiev, don't forget to adjust the supply priority of your forward motorized army corps, because it's crucial to save up on your vehicles pool. So yeah, I don't think I showed it here, but whenever you launch these deep penetrations, always set the supply priority to 0 or maybe even 1 to really save up on your vehicles pool. And I would say that's it for this episode, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. But don't leave me, because we still have one episode to go this week, in which, as always, we will have a look at what happens in the sector of Army Group South.